What's happening, guys? I'm Phanteks. Welcome to Setup Wars episode 188, the show where you submit your setup for the world to see. So if you guys have an awesome or unique setup you want to share with the world, make sure to watch the instructional video link down below. But with that said, let the Setup Wars begin. Stop paying full price for Windows 10 CD keys, you guys. You can pick one up for only $13 on yourcdkey.com. Just make sure to use my code to get that extra 20% off. Links in the description. Kicking off the episode is Aqua from my Discord server and his cozy little setup that he uses for gaming, schoolwork, and the occasional video editing. He's using the IKEA BEKANT corner desk with a single display from Viotek, which I covered in my best gaming monitors under $200. For the price, it's a great 27-inch for gaming with 144Hz refresh rate and a 1 millisecond response time. The color scheme of the setup is black and blue, and I feel like he did a great job staying consistent with it, using the RGB lighting from his keyboard, mouse, and mouse pad. I love how he routed the cables alongside one of the legs using a couple of Velcro straps, but you might want to add a bit more slack for your mouse. Aqua doesn't use any speakers, but he does have two pairs of headsets hanging underneath the desk. We got the ASTRO A40s and the Logitech G Pro X's. This is the first time I've seen someone with a BEKANT desk not taking advantage of the cable net underneath, but he did do a great job managing the cables anyways. Everything is nicely tucked away underneath the desk. And finally, we've got the PC powering it all with a 9900K, 32 gigs of RAM, and the GIGABYTE RTX 2080. The setup is super simple yet effective. While I do appreciate the wall shelf of Star Wars figurines, it just seems like the setup isn't complete. One of the challenges of building a minimalistic setup is the balance, making sure it doesn't look empty and boring while keeping it minimal at the same time. And I think Aqua overall did a great job with this setup. It's just missing a little something. Thank you, Aqua, for entering. Here's a good example of a setup that has a great balance between minimalism and aesthetics. This is Jir's setup from Finland, and he uses it for gaming and entertainment. He too is using the IKEA BEKANT desk with a 24-inch ASUS monitor hooked up to it. For peripherals, he's got the Corsair K95 Platinum keyboard and the Logitech G502 mouse, and it looks like he drilled a hole in the desk to route both of the cables. Nicely done. For audio, he's got two pairs of headsets, the HyperX Cloud 2s for gaming and the Sony's for entertainment, but he does have two massive Yamaha speakers as well that he placed on sound dampening risers. Speakers are hooked up to his Scarlett audio interface, and I love that he skinned it in black for better consistency with the color scheme. It's good to see Jir taking advantage of the net to hide all the cables underneath the desk. The rest of the cables behind the setup are routed perfectly with some Velcro and spiral wraps. I especially like how he routed the power strip cable. So if you guys have all of your devices plugged into a power strip underneath your desk, a clever way of hiding that cable is by running it down one of the legs using Velcro and alongside your wall using raceways. The PC powering the setup is super clean. We got the i5 8600K with 16 gigs of RAM and the ASUS GTX 1070. At first, I thought he skinned the front panel of the case in black vinyl, but after looking up the case online, I was shocked to find out that's how the case was designed. Why they would put a black front panel on a beautiful white case is beyond me. I think wrapping the front in white vinyl would look way better in your setup, in my opinion. I'm also going to be the one to point out that the movie poster on the wall isn't exactly centered with the setup, but overall I think he did a great job balancing the setup. Symmetry is on point, color scheme is on point, and he just has the right amount of personality. Excellent setup, and thank you, Jir, for entering. Coming in at number 3 is Nam and his cozy little Joker themed setup. He's using a 24-inch BenQ gaming monitor with some Razer gear. We got the Black Widow Elite keyboard, Viper mouse, and the glorious extended RGB mouse pad, all on top of a 55-inch desk from Tribe Designs. For audio, he's using the Logitech Z207 speakers and the HyperX Cloud Flight headphones. This hanger, by the way, is awesome. It doubles as a USB hub to connect your devices straight to your PC. It even has a 3.5mm jack for your headphones, so if you're looking for a hanger and USB hub for your desk, check this out. I'll leave a link below. So here's an alternate way of managing cables for desks that have a center support beam. Since you can't use one long raceway, Nam was clever enough to use two separate ones on each side to help hide and route the cables to the power strip. He also used a third raceway instead of cable clips to hide the cables from the headphone hanger. Pretty clever. The PC powering the setup has an i7 9700K with 16 gigs of RAM and the RTX 2070 Super Founders Edition. The only thing I would probably recommend is a small stand for your iPhone, but other than that, it's a pretty clean setup. Thank you, Nam, for entering. Next up, we have Raphael from Luxembourg and his ultrawide setup for gaming, graphic design, and anime sessions. He's rocking an ultrawide from Samsung that's mounted on a custom countertop that he built, and that's being supported by some capital legs and a couple of Alex drawers. It looks like he used the extra space between the desk and drawers to hide his Xbox. The surface of the desk is looking like a garden. We got a few fake plants from IKEA, along with his Corsair K55 keyboard and Logitech G502 mouse. And I love that he used a few cable clips to route the wires across the desk. Very clean. For audio, he's using a pair of Logitech speakers and the Jabra headphones with the mod mic attachment hanging from the side of the desk. And right above that, we got his PC, a blacked out budget build using the i5 7500, 8 gigs of RAM, and the GIGABYTE 1050 Ti. When he's tired of gaming on his PC, he chills in his bed watching videos or games on his Xbox, because he does have a 43-inch Samsung TV set up right in front of his bed. For a 14-year-old, this is one hell of a setup and gaming room. Raphael is definitely getting the best of both worlds here. Thank you for entering. Wrapping up the episode, we have Thomas and his clean, compact gaming and productivity setup. He's using the MSI Optics 24-inch monitor with a killer keyboard and mouse combo. We got the Ducky 1-2 Mini with a few custom keycaps paired with the glorious Model O mouse. The desk he's using is the IKEA Alex, and it comes with 2 built-in drawers for storage, as well as a cable compartment in the back to hide all the cables. You can even throw in your power strip back here, which is what Thomas did for his setup. It's not that large, but it's big enough to support his micro ATX PC. It's a super clean build using the Ryzen 5 3600 in here with 16 gigs of RAM and the RTX 2060 Super Founders Edition. There isn't much else on the desk other than his plant and a phone charger. He isn't using any speakers, so he relies on his SteelSeries Arctis 3 for audio. The 2 acoustic panels up there don't really do much in terms of sound absorption, and I feel like it's just there to cover up that empty space. I would have personally just moved that top shelf down and got rid of that tiny shelf, because you can easily fit that knife with the stand on your desk somewhere if you really want to display it. I feel like using an entire shelf is a bit overkill for that knife. Everything else about the setup is perfect. Thank you, Thomas, for entering. And that is it for this episode of Setup Wars. As always, you guys can vote in the comment section or click on the poll on the top right to cast your vote on the best setup. If you guys want some more awesome content, make sure to follow me on my social media accounts. I love you beautiful eyeballs. I will see you in the next video. Peace.